What's going on? It's your boy Guy by 2009. I got another one for y'all today. 'Cause I told y'all I've been having a lot of videos and a lot of ideas already written down. So I got to do these and knock these out for y'all. I appreciate all the love. Thank you for all the support from my last video. Thank you so much. And please continue to support. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I hope everything is pretty safe and going well with everybody. Y'all just give me a second. I'm trying to get everything straight for y'all. But thank you so much for all the support. Please make sure you like as you enter the chat. I'm gonna put my links in. Just give me a second to set up. And thank you for all the support from last videos. Thank you. I've been having a lot of ideas. So this one is going to be about the deep depths of the ocean. And I'm gonna break that down for y'all. So just give me a second. A lot of it is self-explanatory, especially if you already a Scorpio, you already understand the Scorpio and the philosophy of water signs and stuff. You already know where this video is going to be headed. So I'm gonna go into it. Just give me a moment to set up, and please, like as you enter the chat, and thank you so much for taking your time to view my channel today on this wonderful Sunday. I try to use a day that some of y'all can watch because I know I do a lot of videos during the weekday. I try to do something a little different, give y'all some on the weekend. So make sure you like as you enter the chat. I'm just giving everybody a little time. Just give me a minute to set up. And this is going to be about the deep depths of the ocean when it comes to Scorpio man. And I'm gonna explain that. Let me put my little links in. Because a lot of times when you talk about a Scorpio man, you got to understand you're talking about a person of in-depth personalities, of in-depth characteristics, of in-depth background. And for those who might not understand what in-depth is and might be a little young or whatever, might be from a different country, I'm talking about people of deep personalities. That's why I put deep. People that are very deep. People are very in tune, very serious, very um, they're not typical. They're very complex. So I'm gonna go into this for y'all right quick. So, and I'm gonna go in this all types of angles. I'm gonna go from this video because this video is not just one dimensional. Just like I said, I'm gonna make it just like the Scorpio. It's gonna be multi dimensional because when you talk about the in-depth part of the Scorpio, it's more than what you think it is. So I'm gonna go into that, and I appreciate all the support. I'm just trying to give everybody a little time because I always rush to uh, jump into videos. I try to work with my patience a little bit, give y'all time to come in. I don't be trying to jump ahead of y'all, but I just be trying to get into it and try not to stall too long and try to get into it. So I just try to give everybody a little bit of time more than usual. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter. And this was going to be about the in-depth, the Scorpio deep depths of the ocean. And when you talking about, when I mean Scorpio deeps, the deep depths of the ocean, I mean more than just what you, just like I said, it's more than what you think it is. I'm talking about, when you talk about Scorpio, you got to understand you're not just dealing with it. When I hear a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people about different situations, and I see a lot of different situations in life, in real life, and through my years of experience. And I'm not older person, but once you live a certain life and seen a lot of stuff and experienced a lot of things, you have a lot of wisdom and you gain a lot of certain things on stuff. So I thought this would be a good topic because I get a lot of stuff about this, especially concerning the Scorpio man, because a lot of women, they deal with the Scorpio man, but they don't understand who they're dealing with and what they're dealing with. You got to understand you're dealing with a person that's in depth, a person that's deep. This is not a person that's going to beat around the bush, that's gonna take stuff lightly. Y'all excuse me, I apologize about that. That takes stuff lightly, that's gonna be playing around, that's gonna not be serious about anything. This is a person that's in depth. when you're talking to a person of a Scorpio that's a water sign, you gotta you gotta understand you're talking about with a person that's deep like the parts of the water, that's deep like the ocean, that's deep with their characteristic traits, that's deep how they approach life, that's deep how they approach relationships, because and it's not just the Scorpio. You can go through the Cancer, you can talk about the Pisces, and you can talk about Scorpio, and you both it's gonna all be the same way, but it's differences, and I can break down those differences. It depends on who want to know about it, but I'm gonna go in on the Scorpio first. But when you talk about a Scorpio, you got to understand it's when he approaches you, it's not going to be just like anybody where, oh, you have a couple of conversations with him, or he approaches you a certain way, and it's going to go like you think it is. It's going to have a certain normalcy to it, or it's just going to be repetitive and get stale. Even though we are a person of being a fixed sign, a person of being focused, a person of being in tune, and very slow for change and very slow to change our personalities. We are very focused. We are very complex. We have different emotions. We have different ways of bringing. We have different things to bring to the table. We have different personality traits. We have different strength. We have different uh, in depth to us, and we hard. That's why a lot of times it's hard to understand a lot of water signs. It's hard to understand the in depths of the emotions because this is a person that's in depth, that's in tune. And if you a person that's more, of a ground sign, or that's more, that's not really in tune with, the people are not in tune with, the spirit around people, not in tune with the characteristics of people, you're not gonna really understand that. It's gonna look, like you're gonna miss a lot of stuff that comes with the Scorpio because if you're not a type of person that ever been in those type of waters, that never even stepped your foot in those type of waters, that's a whole lot of that's a whole enormous part of the personality trait. That's a whole enormous part of the dynamic when it comes to understanding Scorpio. You got to understand. You got to be a person that sees him, in depth. You got to be in depth. That's why a lot of times a Scorpio he might back away because it might be at certain times and certain tones he don't see that in depthness and it's not in depth. You know what I'm saying? The certain aspects, certain people are not in depth. A lot of people in this world are not in depth. A lot of people they're gonna come around and do the same things. They're gonna talk about the same things. They're gonna be repetitive doing the same things. They're gonna watch the same things, and then they don't have no substance to them. That's why a lot of people and a lot of music and a lot of whatever, and a lot of people are not becoming bored with a lot of stuff because it's no substance to it. It's no in depth to it. It's very shallow. It's very shallow waters. It's very plain. It's very simple, and it's not no characteristics to it. It's no colors to it. It's no different layers to it. But when you're dealing with a Scorpio man, you got to understand dealing with a man of multiple complex layers. So let me go into the get y'all speak to y'all right quick. Because what made me think about this is I'm like, wow, it's not just the Scorpio just being deep as the ocean or being in depth as the ocean all the time. It's more than that. It's like when we go through our certain stages as a Scorpio, it's like it feels like we have to cross the trenches water. It's just like the water. It's just like the physical waters of the ocean when you're dealing with a Scorpio. Y'all give me a second. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all into the chat room. I appreciate all the love. Thank you, all my new subscribers. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to my last video. Because a lot of times when I start these, it feel like, oh, I don't know. Then, I always feel a lot more excited when I get started. Hey, Serene Joy. Hey, Common Water 81. Hey, Wendy 44. Hey, Miss K Virgo Nation. Hey, Isha Baby. Hey, Lucky Charm Beauty. Hey, Desiree Hodge. Hey, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter the chat. I appreciate the love. Because a lot of times when you talk about Scorpio, you're not just talking about you're talking about a person that's extremely tough, you know, and a lot of times we are extremely tough because we go through these stages of in depth. We go through those treacherous, those very extremely dangerous parts of the water. It's just like being in the physical part of the water when you look at, certain films or whatever. It's just like he's a dark, deep individual, like the dark parts of the water. When you think about it, like the deep parts of the water. When you think about the characteristics of the water, you think about something that's in depth, something that's dark, something that's dangerous. Because think about it, when you think about water, you see it. Oh, water's not that dangerous, but are you gonna just jump into any kind of water? Jump into any kind of ocean? Just ride on a boat and just jump off the water, or go on a cruise and be like, oh, I'm fine. I'm gonna just jump in the water. No, you're not gonna do that. A lot of people won't even dip their finger into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no joke. Because it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Water strong enough to break boats in half. If waters are deep enough to sink a whole anchor, then it's deep. It's dangerous. It's deep. It's strong. It can sink you in. And it's just like the Scorpio. It's just like our personality. Is just like the magnetism is just like in depth, is in tune. You got to be a person that has a more of seriousness to yourself. You have a person that have more layers to yourself. And when I mean layers, I know I always say layers, and this is what I mean by you got to be a person that has different personality traits to yourself. Different characteristics, different gifts, different talents, different ways of viewing the world. Just like the ocean, you got to be in depth. You got to be in tune with yourself. And it's like that's how the Scorpio is. We have different parts of us, and a lot of times it's not hard. It's not hard to understand us, but you got to be a person that's in depth, that's in tune. Let me see. Let me see what's going on with y'all. Hey, thank you, Mr. Taylor. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I was surprised to see you coming in here. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the love. Thank you, everybody. Because I know I've been doing a lot of the lighter topics, but this one I'm gonna do a lot of deeper topics because I want to go more in tune, more in depth, with y'all. So I like, I've been doing a lot of the real fun topics about Scorpio, but I be getting a lot of serious, stories about the Scorpio. So I want to go into a more serious level, a more serious vibe about it. So y'all just give me a second. Y'all make sure y'all show some love. Y'all donate to my links. If y'all want to reach to me, just hit me up on my Yahoo link, my Gmail. I put it in the chat room. Thank y'all, everybody, for coming in. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Make sure y'all do that. Y'all know how I am about that. But I appreciate all the love. Nonetheless, thank you so much. Hey, Madison. Hey, what's going on? I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. And a lot of times when you start to go into it's just like evolving or going to deeper levels when the Scorpio man starts to age or when you Scorpio woman starts to age, it's going to be just like going into the deeper levels. It's like the older you get, it's like aging in dog years, but almost in wisdom and spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you going into a deeper level of the ocean. It gets more difficult, as we age, certain things get more strenuous, certain things get more difficult, certain things get more deeper because we become more in depth, we become more in tune. And you gotta understand when you dealing with us, is you dealing with a person that's very serious, a person that's very out of the box, that's not gonna have no apologies. We not gonna have any excuses for being ourselves. He's not gonna be the type of individual that's gonna apologize for being himself. What I'm saying? But at the same time, a lot of people get us wrong as for being, being dark or being evil or being belligerent or being ignorant. No, that's not the case. But it's about being courageous. It's about being strong. It's about standing up for yourself. It's about having a backbone. It's about being vocal. It's about being outspoken. It's about being stern. Because these are characteristics that's going to help you through your life. Even if you don't have the physical attributes to show for it right now, it's going to show, because if you stay dedicated and you have that strength and you have that in-depth personality to yourself and you've been through those experiences, then you're gonna have that experience because you've been through those. You don't have to read about it. You don't have to get no third person testimony about it. You don't have to what I'm saying, we talking about Scorpio individually. You can be like, why does he know so much, or why he's so in tune with so many different things, or so many different topics, or so many different things. Even if he's in particularly a certain age, he has a certain it seems like he have a certain experience because of his age. whatever. It's because of the experience. People got to understand it's not about the time you live. It's about what you do during the time that you live. It's about what you experience. It's about what you go through. The person that hides from everything, a person that pretends with everything, they're not going to experience that much. Even if they do experience, they're not going to learn from it because they're not going to be honest with it. They're not going to look at the whole black and white big picture. But a person that goes through the hell, goes through the deep treacherous waters, they're going to have to experience. Mr. I don't know, Mr. Bobo. I'm gonna use a regular name, Mr. Bubba or whatever that plays by the pool with his feet and his little feet dangling by the water. He's not gonna have the same experience as Johnny that's taking that's deep water diving, that's doing dangerous deep sea diving and doing all types of research and doing all types of it's two different playing fields, and that's how as we look at it as spirits, as Scorpio, as different aspects. That's why a lot of times you'll see we'll back away from a lot of stuff. A lot of times you'll see him stray away from different stuff. We don't want to be around a lot of people. We don't want to rock around a lot of people because we realize a lot of people are energy draining. A lot of people want you to be influenced by the crowd. A lot of people want you to go along with the crowd, but you got to understand going along with the crowd doesn't make you a strong individual. Going along with the crowd is not going to make you a leader. Going along with the crowd is not going to even make you happy. Going along with the crowd is not even going to push you in the right direction. Even if it seems like it's the right, even if it seems like it's the right direction, it's not going to push you in the right. You got to stand stern, and that's how Scorpio. That's how we lead in the dark, treacherous waters. And you got to understand, just like the dark, treacherous parts of the water and the deep in depths parts of the water, it's not that many people. It's not too many that can withstand that. It's not too many species in that depths of the water. A lot of them want to stay in the safe, shallow parts of the water where where the sunshine is. Not too many going to want to be in those deep, cold, dangerous, in-depth parts where there's all types of dangerous species, all types of sharks, all types of whales that can eat you alive, that can rip you to pieces in seconds. That's the type of life. That's the type of life and experience that Scorpio live. We don't really had or have to experience stuff from secondhand because he's in depth. He lived through experience. You know what I'm saying? When you be with when you with this certain character, it's okay. You can be lighthearted and be understanding, but you got to be real. You got to be a type of person that has a deeper understanding of things. You got to be a person that looks at stuff in a deep reality and a certain seriousness, not like, oh, it got to be like this, it got to be like that, and you got to do this or you got to do that. No, we talk about serious topic. Let's talk about serious things. Let's do serious things. Let's be in depth. Let's be in tune. Let's be focused on different things. Let's switch up. Let's evolve. Let's grow on this. Let's try this out. Even though people don't like it and there ain't that many people doing it, the Scorpio will be the type that tries something different. They'll do the daring thing that be dangerous, just like the in-depth parts of the water. Like it's certain species in the water that you don't never see or you don't never hear about unless you do your research or you do watch some type of TV show or whatever. And it's just like us. You're not gonna. That's why a lot of people they be like, I used to get this a lot. They be like, I don't see that many Scorpios. I never even dated a Scorpio because we don't try to make ourselves push ourselves on everybody. I make ourselves available to everybody. I try to fit in with everybody. We stay in our own lane. We build our own plateau. We build our own thing because we realize that we're the type of individuals. Even if we were paid to try to fit in into a circle, or he's the type of individual that if we were try to pay to be fit in type of mode, he's not gonna fit in. He's not gonna feel comfortable. We're not gonna be those individuals that can feel comfortable being somebody else or trying to be somebody else or try to be what I'm saying, be this or be fake or be whatever because in that sense you're gonna start falling from your originality. You're gonna start falling from the person that made you, and that's the type of we not those type of individuals. Even if you get to the point and be like, oh, he drives me crazy, or oh, he's so stubborn, or oh, he's so bold about certain things. It's like you have to. It's no way. You can't be a sweetheart. You can't be a 24-hour sweetheart and be a leader. You can't be a follower and be gullible and you know what I'm saying, be able to be pulled from one post to the next and be an individual, a strong individual. Let me get into this with y'all because Cause I be a lot of times I be going in and then I forget about all about the people. I don't forget about y'all in the chat, but I forget that sometimes y'all be asking me questions. So I'm trying to make sure I stay. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter. Let me see what's going on here. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all into the chat. I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate all the love. If And I apologize. I'm gonna keep it up a little bit because I know sometimes I go in so deep, then I'll be like, oh, you forget about your volume or your vocal volume. Because I be seeing a lot of videos, and I look at a lot of certain things, and I realize a lot of stuff can make it a video unenjoyable, especially when you can't, and they seem like a person mumbling. And I be watching videos. You can have it on TV, you can have it on surround sound, and you can't hear what the hell they saying. They always mumbling and they sound like Charlie Brown or some, you know what I mean? All that mess. They sound like you sound like they really they they need some subtitles, and I don't want to do that with y'all. I'm gonna always make it clear. I'm gonna always make it vocal. I'm gonna always make it enjoyable because anything can make a difference. It don't always got to be about God by talking about a different a particular topic or me talking about a particular thing. It's sometimes just the spirit of you being yourself and you being honest and you being real and you bringing a real message. That's it. Don't got to be anything. It don't have to be rocket science. I'll be super complex. Just tell the truth and speak it, and that's how Scorpio is. That's how we are. We in depth, not just with, just with our, personality traits. It's like we in depth with everything. We in depth with life, in tune with the seriousness of life. That's why a lot of times you'll see a Scorpio be empathetic with something that you be like, oh wow, he's why he about carrying our individuals. Like no, we are very in tune. We are very in depth. Even when we're living or whatever, I still know it's a man out there starving. You know what I'm saying? I still know it's a girl out there with no father, no male role, no male figures to protect her, walking to work every night. I know it's people out there that somebody that got to pay their light bill and choose to eat or either pay your light bill. Is that's what you call being in depth. That's what you call being in tune. And that's the type of personality traits we have. That's the type individual that you're looking at. You're looking at a person that's in depth, a person that's serious, a person that's focused on the deep, dark, serious things in life, not because he wants to be a shallow or dark-minded individual. It's because we want to be in tune with it. We're not the type of person, just like I said, that's going to wear the rose-colored shades and have rose-colored rhetoric and sugarcoat things. He's going to be a type of individual that's going to be very serious. That's going to be very in tune with what's going on around you. What's going on around us, what's happening. And when you meet a Scorpio, a lot of times, that's why I tell you, a lot of times he might disappear because a lot of times we go through those in-depth parts of the ocean where we have to almost break ourselves and almost, you know, shed our shell and shed our skin in order to, build ourselves and evolve ourselves to these mature individuals. We have to go through hell. We have to go through the deep parts of the ocean. A lot of times it's just like, being a man on a ship or whatever. A lot of times, some people might want to go with you. A lot of times people fall off. A lot of times nobody, you be in the deep depths of the water. Sometimes, people might not even want to throw you a life vest, even if you might be drowning. People won't even throw you a life vest. You know what I'm saying? Some people, you might be in the deep parts of the ocean where it might get dangerous. A lot of times you might not see a lighthouse. I mean, you might not see a light, and that's how Scorpio. That's how the stage of Scorpio is. Just like the ocean, just like being a creature in the deep parts of the ocean. Is like a lot of times we go through that. You know what I'm saying? It's not just being all dark in depth. So I'm gonna be mean. No, it's about being dark and in depth, but it's talking about being dark as far as characteristic traits, as far as our experiences. A lot of times when it comes to us, we experience the dark traits of life, the dark aspects of life, the dark, serious tones of life, as far as death, as far as tragedies, as far as despair, as far as going through the dark, enormous things in life. We see that we see people go through that. We see that, and so when you're dealing with a Scorpio, you gotta understand you're dealing with a man of serious tone. You're dealing with a man that's very empathetic, that's very deep, that's very sensitive to his environment. So he's not gonna be, oh, it's gonna be lighthearted. Oh, I'm gonna just go along with go with this, just go with the flow. I'm gonna just say this, but just to go with the flow. He's gonna be a person that's gonna be stern on where he stand, because we had that in tone. We've been through that experience. Let me see, Jasper. I might keep it a certain tone. Let me see. Hello everyone. I hope I haven't missed much. No, you haven't missed much, Celine. I'm just talking about the deep and depth parts of the ocean when it comes to Scorpio, man. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter. I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. Just like I said, thank you to all my new subscribers. I know this a little bit early than what I usually would do it, and I know it. But I was like, I realized in this tone, it's just like you start how you finish. How you start is how you finish. So I want to keep it intense. I want to keep it consistent, and I want to keep it very, very filled, very stern. It's almost like soul food. It's like I can't just microwave every damn thing and buy it in the freezer. Sometimes I gotta take that elbow grease and do some stirring. Sometimes you gotta get that big grandma spoon and do some stirring. So right now I'm just giving y'all some real stuff. I know it ain't a lot of people doing this online, especially with on weekends and stuff like that. But that's why I want to do it. That's why I want to show y'all that, because that's like a Scorpio. Like, we're the type of people that do stuff on an unorthodox day. I do stuff when nobody else want to do it. We the type that we're like the last man standing. You know what I'm saying? He's a very in tune person. We are very strong individuals because we understand solitude. We understand that people will be with you one minute, then the next minute they might betray you. We understand that there's love, but on the other side there's hate. We understand that there's connection. Then we understand that there's detachment. We understand that there's life. We understand that there's death. You know what I'm saying? We understand there's youth, and we understand that there's elderly. You know what I'm saying? We understand these parts of life. We understand that one day you can have stacks this big in your hand. Next minute you could be laying in the morgue. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times Scorpios, they be like, "Oh, he's so dark. He's so over serious. Why he looks so grim all the time?" It's not because we're grouchy. We're trying to be grouchy. Trying to look harsh. I try to act mean, but it's because we in tune. We feel the sting of the loss of our loved ones. We feel even if it happened years ago, we have that sentimental connection because we had that in depth connection. When you understand, when you with a Scorpio, you gotta understand you're gonna have that. It's gonna be in depth. Ain't nothing gonna be lighthearted. He's not this type of individual that's gonna be like a flim flam pancake type of relationship where oh I rock with you one minute, but then next minute I'm gonna change on you. No, if I rock with you, even if I want to punch you in your arm, I'm not gonna switch on you. I'm not gonna betray you. I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna cause any detrimental harm to you. And even though a lot of people say Scorpio, oh, we don't do that to just anybody. I do that to people we love. Even he does that, is a lot of times it's not on totally on purpose. It's just when you have a certain sternness to yourself and you have a certain titanium personality to yourself as far as handling tragedies, hardest handling the hardships of life, you automatically gain that skin, that tough out exterior. It's just like, you see the porcupine. The porcupine can't help if when you touch him, it's gonna make you bleed, or it's gonna go through your skin. He can't help that when his enemies attack him. They going A lot of times they hurt themselves in the process, even though he didn't attack them. That's almost how the Scorpio is. It's like just like the porcupine. It's like you have this outer exterior to protect yourself from your enemies. So when they actually bump into you, it's gonna cause all types of detrimental harm. It's not all the way on purpose. It's just when you used to being a hard ass and used to being around maniacs and psychopaths and growing up with growing up with guys banging on their head like they were born with a helmet or something like that. It's like you used to having a certain stern to yourself. A person that had that was walking on lilies like King Joffrey Jofer, they can't tell you what it is like to walk on the harsh concrete. They can't tell you that. They can read about it. They can be knowledgeable of it, but they have no experience on that. They can give you secondhand opinions. They can give you third hand opinions, but they have no clue what they're talking about until you lived it. Until you actually experienced it, you don't know what you're talking about. You're only giving your side of the story. And that's what Scorpio. That's what we don't. That's one thing we don't do. If we don't have any experience on something, we don't have no knowledge of something, we don't even go into that water. We'll listen to it. We'll learn from it because we the type of person that don't try to go on things based on It might be because everybody else says it is, because it most likely will go, be this. He the type of person. It got to be in depth. It got to be concrete. It got to be solid. It got to stand on something. Let me see. Y'all make sure y'all like, hey, Skyhook 11, and like I said, y'all make sure y'all show that love. I know it's a quiet Sunday. Sometimes you got to shake it up. Because one thing that made me realize to do something right now, even though it's unorthodox or whatever, you'd be like, "Oh, it's Sunday, God body. What's going on? What's up? What's really going on?" It's like I think about it, and I think about that old. It's just like this video, the in depth parts of the ocean. I think about being that old. I'm young God body right now, but I think about being an old God body that's stuck to a wheelchair. I think about that old God body that might be in that nursing home, 60 years, 50 years from now, whatever. I think about that God body. I think about that person that was the man in the 90s that physically can't do it. They still the man. They still legendary, but they physically can't do it. And it's not always because of age. A lot of times it's because of health reasons, physical reasons, spiritual reasons, all types of stuff. And they wish they could be doing whatever. They wish they could have one voice and just to holler on chat. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it to the utmost. I'm gonna do it to the depths, because that's all I can see is the in-depth part of the world. All I can see is the in-depth, serious parts of life, because that's what I experienced. When you lose loved ones at a young age, when you see death at a young age, when you experience harsh realities of a young age, when you realize tragedies and life is not concrete, everything that you plan is not going to happen, and you can love somebody all the way, but it don't mean they're going to be here forever. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, life going to take them away from you. You know what I'm saying? Things happen to pull apart. Now, a lot of times a lot of people can't fathom this type of tragedy, especially happening in multiple instances when many people are leaving from you. It takes a certain character, it takes a certain spirit to be able to move on. Not only be able to move on, but move on with your head held up high, to move on and still be spiritually healthy, to move on and still be in your right mindset. It takes a certain stern. It takes a person with a certain depth. It takes a person with a certain wisdom. It takes a person with a certain experiences. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say Scorpio, we a sign of death, not because he's dark and he's mean. And all he want to see is gothic stuff and wearing black or nothing like that. No, that's it's not that type of death. When we talk about death, it's about experiencing death, about seeing death, about knowing, understanding death, the reality of death, of life, not just death, but life and death. We the type of individuals that see everything from both sides of the realm. We see things on both sides of the screen. A lot of people, you see them right now. They going 50,000 miles per hour. Are they doing this? Are they treat a person like this? They walking their feet and holding grudges against this person, holding a grudge against that person. We understand because we in depth. We understand that okay, you could be pissed off with them one day, then they'll be dead the next day. Then what? You gonna be pissed off at a dead person? What kind of sense? What kind of sense does that make? It makes no sense. It's just you're gonna stand in your sternness. You're just gonna stand in your foolishness. You're gonna stand in your unforgiving spirit, and you're gonna be more dark. That person gone. That person already transcended. You know what I'm saying? And we understand characteristics like that. That's why I say when they say a Scorpio is very vindictive, are we very hostile? When no, that's maybe in the lower stages and in our early years or whatever. When we get older, we realize it's you got to move on. It's time to move on. You got you got to we move on, even whether it's spiritually, whether it's physically or whatever. We understand that we know what I'm saying. Even though we're extremely sentimental, we don't even like to change chairs, let alone let alone change anything. We don't even like to change chairs, or change colors, or change name brands, I change video games. I like if you talk about Scorpio, we type of individuals playing Nintendo 64 in 2038 is still playing Nintendo 64, because we had that in-depthness into ourselves. We had that certain, just like today, I was coming outside and I had this feeling of nostalgia, like I could feel that it felt like 1998. I don't know, just like I told you, during this phase I seen the moon or whatever, it felt like if I could feel the phase of the past. It's like I feel in tune with certain things of my past, certain things that I didn't understand, certain things are starting to come to me. It's like it felt like 1998. Like I felt the seriousness. You started to understand because when you grow into that wisdom and that in depth, tune, just like a Scorpio, you started to understand, oh, 1997, I learned this, and this, that. But when you're going through it, you don't see that. You can't see that. All you see is pain. All you see is hell. All you see is tears. All you see is death. All you see is fire. But when you make it to 2019, you be like, damn. I made it through this. Like, man, I'm a soldier. I got badges. I got armor. I got grades. I got grades. These are well earned grades. Don't try to hide your grades. Sport them out. Sport your salt and pepper. You know what I'm saying? People be trying to hide their pepper. No, let the salt and pepper stick out the same way. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to embrace it. We understand we got to embrace everything, the good along with the bad, the hostile along with the love. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes with the season. Everything comes with the purpose. Everything comes with the agenda. Everything comes with the definition. You know what I'm saying? Even in the journey, because just like Joseph being thrown into the hole by his own people, it was a reason for that happening. Just like Moses, being distant from his people, everything had to happen for a reason, because if certain things didn't happen, other things wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if certain friends I lost along the way, certain family members that died, that almost devastated me. I realized that if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be the person I was. I wouldn't have the strength. I wouldn't have the courage. I wouldn't have the endurance. And you don't build that in depth just from reading a book. You can't build that in depthness just from sitting in the classroom. You can't build that in depthness from hearing it from somebody else. You got to live through it. You got to experience it. You got to sweat it. You got to bleed it. You got to cry. You got to be by yourself. You got to be cut off. You got to go through the hell. You got to climb the mountain. You know what I'm saying? That mountain climber, he didn't learn it by climbing footholds, or playing playing on little hills. He wouldn't have that experience of a experienced mountain climber unless he almost lost his life trying to climb a real mountain. He had to climb rock for rock, stone for stone, edge for edge, in the dangerous, treacherous parts of the mountain. And that's how I experienced this. Really, I actually had to go to a physical mountain. I physically lived on top of a mountain for a period of time, and it almost spiritually transcended me, because I didn't have no Wi-Fi. I didn't have little to no phone. I didn't have nobody that I was raised around. I didn't have no family members around. I didn't have nobody that I was familiar around. I was literally on the mountain, isolated from everything that I once knew, everything that I did know, and I had to be my own individual. I had to be my own person. I had to stand on my own too. If somebody gave me what they call a knuckle sandwich, I had to eat those. Whether it was delivery or whether it was to go, you had to eat those knuckle sandwiches yourself. I couldn't call big brother. I couldn't call big cousin. I couldn't call mom. I couldn't call dad. Nobody. You had to eat them knuckle sandwiches yourself. You had to walk that thin line by yourself. You got to walk that dark, lonely road by yourself. And most of the times, it's not because people hate you. It's not because you done something wrong. It's not because you've been evil or nothing like that. It's because it's part of your journey. It's part of your destiny. It's part of your character. It's what's building your character. It's what's building your format. It's what's building your caliber as a person. It's what's building your heart as a soldier. You know what I'm saying? A soldier can't have any experiences if he never been through nothing. If he just played on the shallow, safe parts of the battlefields, he's not gonna have that experience as a soldier. He's not gonna have that prestige as a soldier. He's not gonna have that ranking as a soldier, because he didn't go through those dangerous parts. He didn't have those. He didn't take those dangerous assignments. He tried to he ducked around he ducked the war. He tried to hide under the sheets. You know what I'm saying? He tried to stay in the cafeteria. He wasn't on the battlefield. He wanted to serve Chick-fil-A in the cafeteria. He didn't want to be on the battlefield with them AKs or them M16s in his hand, because it takes a certain person that had them M16s in their hand. It takes a certain heart. It takes a certain soldier. It takes a certain skin. You know what I'm saying? Just because a person's sitting around banging on their chest like they King Kong, don't mean they even have a heart of a puppy. Don't mean you have a heart of a puppy. Like me, I was quiet for years, but I realized, just like in my journey, just like I told y'all, the Scorpio being in depth like an ocean, everything is for a reason. Everything is for a season. I had my seasons where it was for me to be silent and for me to observe, because I had to experience life. That's why I have so much in for myself. That's why I have such an old soul and an old spirit. I listened to the old people. I experienced everything for what it was. I sat and listened. I remember the '90s and all that because I wasn't really distracted. I was very in tune. I was very in depth. I was very focused on what was going around me. I seen what was going on around me, not just from a kid's perspective, but from anybody's perspective. Whether I would have been 60 or whether I would have been 6 years old, I was. When you talk about Scorpio man, you got to understand you're dealing with a person that's in depth, has a maturity beyond our years. That's why I say when you're dealing with us, you're dealing with a man that's in his dog years, a man that's 38 that grown. And I'm not even gonna make it complex for y'all. Just put it like this: a child that lived in 6 years old, that's lived in the Hamptons all her life, she's not going to have the same knowledge and the same wisdom as a 6 year old that been lived in Brownsville, Brooklyn all their life. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to have the same wisdom. They're not going to have the same toughness. They're not going to have the same skin. They're not going to have the same knowledge because they had two different experiences. One was in the shallow water, swimming with the guppies. You know what I'm saying? Swimming with Wally the whale with the dolphins and Stinky the seal or whatever. And then you got Bathsheba from Brooklyn. She done seen people get smashed like pumpkins. She done seen the graffiti. She done seen the concrete. She done seen the harsh weather. She done walked on blocks and seen people get yapped for their chain. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking. We talking Brooklyn. So okay, let's keep it real. Yeah, even especially you dudes that grew up in the '90s and y'all know for yapping. Y'all like yapping the chains and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different experience. It's a different knowledge. It's a different culture. You know what I'm saying? It's a different sternness. That parent that went through the hellhole, that starved, that had hunger pains, that went through hell and high waters, ain't gonna have the same knowledge and the same sternness as the parent that didn't go through anything. They might not even. I ain't going to say it's always a good thing because sometimes a parent that went through a harsh background or had a harsh life or whatever. Sometimes they feel that they want to repeat that with their own kids or whatever. They want to have that same harshness. Oh, my parent. You know what I'm saying? We understand that. We understand that everything is made for a season. It's not just because my father was doing that or because my granddaddy was doing that for 50 years, the last eight generation was doing that for the last 50 years. Does that make it right? Just because I'm pulling the hairs out my ass for the last 8 years, does that mean I should continue? Does that mean I should continue to pull? It's gonna get painful after a while, and it's gonna look kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying? Your common sense is probably gonna sink in and be like, okay, all my colored peoples is doing this, but this kind of stupid. They going they everybody walking off the damn cliff. I don't think I want to follow behind them. I think I might want to take that left because it makes sense. It's your common sense. It's your spiritual sense. It's your tone. But if you haven't felt the sting of that concrete, you're not going to avoid that edge. You're not going to avoid that mountain. If you haven't felt the skin, if your skin haven't been ripped from that blade, you're not going to know how sharp that knife is. If you haven't heard the buckshots from the hollows coming from the guns, you're not gonna know how dangerous it is to be out in the streets. If you haven't had your car stripped from inside out, you're not gonna be smart enough to keep locking your doors and you know what I'm saying. You're not gonna have a certain aspect about yourself. You're not gonna have a certain knowledge about yourself, and that's just how we are. That's how it is. Let me see. I'm gonna go put my link in one time. Woo. They tell me got me sweating. That's why I used to be like you see people sweating. I'd be like, Lord, is they unhealthy? Why they on stage sweating like that? Good gracious, is it hot up there? I'm like, Lord have mercy. Maybe I think sometimes it's the lighting, is you jumping around, you be sweat. And I'm the type of person I sweat like a dolphin. I'm sweating like a dolphin. I'm talking about a dolphin. I'm looking like a dolphin. Because I'm like, Lord have mercy. I need a cloth like the old Southern pastor. I need a cloth. I need a sweat rag. I need a towel. I need some. Let me see. Yahoo. Uh, because I realize it is the man that want to speak up for himself. But he ain't never had nobody to tell him, hey. You might want to speak up for yourself. Or hey, you might want to stand up for yourself. Or hey, you might want to be your own individual. Or hey, that's a good idea. Or hey, you might want to support, keep pushing towards your dreams. Or hey, who cares what they say? Keep pushing along because a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that. It's not too many people that have that certain thing, that certain in depth about themselves. You got to be in depth. You got to experience it that and understand that people need that because you had to experience yourself. I understand what it is to be the man left out. I understand what it is to be the underdog. But a person that's always had they rump kissed, had flowers and roses and daisies. They think everybody's their friend. They think that everybody's you should extend yourself out to everybody. They think everything's gonna be a certain way. We already come into the picture knowing we gonna have the enemies. I come into the picture already having my fist clenched because I might have to swing on somebody. I might have to tell somebody to back up because that's the reality. That's not my reality. That's the reality. That's the reality, period. You know what I'm saying? Point blank. A lot of people don't want to look at it. And that's why when you're dealing with Scorpio, a lot of times you'll get that distance, you'll get that argument, you'll get that certain clash because a lot of individuals, a lot of people that Scorpio might be dealing with, you can't be a person that don't want to look at the harshness of certain aspects. You can't be a type of person that be like, okay, I want to look at you doing this and you doing that and you doing this, but you ain't gonna at the same instance, you ain't gonna look at yourself in that same light. If you gonna turn the mirror and make somebody else look at themselves, or put somebody else through hell, put yourself through the same strenuous hell. But let somebody else treat you with the same disrespect. Let somebody else stomp on your back and see how you feel. Don't just say it in one aspect because if you saying it in one dimensional aspect, you a hypocrite. You're not being official. You're not being authentic. You're being a hypocrite because you're willing to put enslave in another man, but you're not willing to be enslaved. You saying one thing, but you're preaching another. You know what I'm saying? You live in one thing, but you're preaching another. I stand the same way I stand before I even did God Body Channel. I was the same person. I was just as controversial. I was just as daring. I was just as bold. It was the same thing. You have to be in depth, but you got to go through experiences to be that. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can cape up and be like, oh, I'm gonna be God body, or oh, I'm gonna be this person, or oh, I'm gonna be that person. You haven't swam through those waters yet. You ain't been you haven't swam beside a shark. You haven't had a patch of your back. You haven't had the patch of your skin ripped off from swimming with the sharks. You know what I'm saying? You haven't had those grumbling. It's think about it. Just y'all think about it in retrospect. It's people out here that never experienced the hunger pain. It's people out here that never had an argument with hardly anybody. It's people out here that never had any type of close net death. They don't know what tragedy feel like. They don't know what pain feel like. It's people out here that never had their nose broken. They never had their bones broken. You know what I'm saying? They never had experienced pain and tragedy beyond stomaching to the point they can't sleep, to the point they make them sick and nauseated seeing certain things because they haven't walked those roads. They haven't lived through that. You know what I'm saying? They look at it from somebody else's aspect, but they watch movies, but they haven't lived through it. So they don't know. They really don't know. That's why I be seeing people laughing at certain things and thinking certain things all a joke and all hunky dory and all that. That's why a lot of times you see a lot of stuff you back away from. You be like, oh man, they too over serious. That Scorpio is too stern. It's because a lot of stuff people don't take serious. You see the people every day. You see them BSing and wasting time on Facebook. Wasting time doing this. I go outside. I don't see nobody over the age of 13 years old no more. I don't. I mean, I've been out here every day. I don't see nobody walking over the age of 13. That's 2019 for you. That's definitely 2019 for you. When I was 6 years old, you couldn't even certain places you couldn't even drive through without slowing down because it'd be so many people. It'd be people out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit more dangerous too, but it was still more people outside. People was more in shape. People was more in tune with each other. People had more depth to each other because they experienced life. They won't experience it just sitting behind no computer, or sitting behind no damn smartphone, or sitting behind no damn flat screen TV. They was outside. They were getting sunburned. They were sweating. They were fighting. They were arguing. They were cussing. But hell, they was living life. They was really stomping the concrete. They was really picking up the dirt with both fingers and letting the grass squeeze between their fingers, because that they experienced that. They had that. They in tune with that. They know that. Let me see. I'm gonna put my link in one more time because I had to do a little something for y'all. I ain't wanna keep y'all too long. Let me see. I'll put my link in one more time. Y'all show me that love. I appreciate it. Everybody for checking out my last videos. Please make sure you like. If you haven't checked them out yet, please make sure you check them out. Make sure you like. Y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. If you want to reach out to me, make sure you hit my Gmail. Make sure you hit my Yahoo. And I'm going to put in my link if you want to show me some love, or donate, whatever. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, because I've been appreciating all the love, y'all. Y'all, it's just like a gift, you know what I'm saying? Just like anything, it's just like you gotta. Sometimes even if you get a gift, it's just like somebody give you a gift, even if it's a bouquet, if it's a plant, even if it's a little plant, you can't just take that gift and be like, okay, I got a gift, so I'm gonna just leave it right here, and you know what I'm saying? No, you still gotta nurture that gift. You still gotta water it. You still gotta, even with a leather jacket, if you get a nice expensive leather jacket for Christmas, you still gotta keep it nice. You can't just walk through any type of weather. You can't just roll in the dirt and just raise hell in your damn leather coat and think it's gonna be nice. You gotta take care of it. You gotta keep it nice. You gotta work. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Certain things you gotta do to uphold it. And that's how we look at our relationships. That's how we look at everything we do. And that's why I keep so consistently doing this, because I understand, even though y'all support what I do and y'all give me plenty of love, it's like I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep giving more, because it's nothing promised. I gotta keep it going for y'all. I can't just be like, oh, it's going good today. So since it's going good today, I'ma just be chill. Since it's just going good today, everything's all good. Since my life is going good, everything's all smiles, everything's all good. And, I'm walking, you walk with your head high and enjoy your life and appreciate your life. But I'm not like, oh, life is all good. I'm happy, so the whole world's happy. Everybody's happy. I'm paid, so everybody's paid. I don't care about nobody else starving. I'm happy, and so the world is happy. I'm gonna pretend. I'm gonna wear my rose-colored shades and stomp. Yeah, yippee. I don't look at it like that. Even if I'm sitting with a diamond chain sitting on my ass like King Joffrey Jofer with roses at my feet, I still know it's somebody starving. I still know somebody's eating doo-doo, eating their own crap for lunch. You know what I'm saying? Because that's reality. It's people that put people, enslave people, and put people in positions where they gotta live like that. It's people that cruel. It's people that evil. It's people that's loving, and then there's people that's very dark. You got the light, then you got the dark. You can't just say, "Oh, I see the light." And oh, we in the light, so I'm not gonna look at the harsh parts of life. I ain't gonna look at the murder rate around me. I ain't gonna look at my it's all this crap that's going on around me. I ain't gonna look at the deterioration that's going on around me. I ain't gonna look at the moral fiber falling from the seams around me. I'm gonna just wear these rose-colored shades because my life is doing so good, because I feel so good, I look so good, everything is just so damn good. No, that's not the reality. You can be, and you can wear those rose-colored shades and be like, I don't care what God body say. I wanna wear my rose-colored shades. I can do it if I want to. But okay, then you're gonna slam it to that. You're gonna slam it to that wall just like that, and it's gonna crush your pretty little shades on your face, because it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. And that reality is gonna hit, like it's gonna hit hard as hell. That person, that loved one that you thought that's gonna be with you, they're gonna turn on you. That job that you thought was gonna be there is gonna fall from under your feet. That bank account that you had, it ain't gonna be what it was 10 years ago. That person that you thought that's gonna be in your corner, you might lose them. And it's in reality, them shades gonna be snatched off your face. So you can either choose to take the shades off and stop BSing with yourself and live in reality. You can be like the Scorpio and be in depth and be in tune, and be real and be serious about what's going on around you. Let me see. Let me see. Because I could be like, oh, oh, this person lovely. Oh, this person lovely. You know what I'm saying? Oh, life is so wonderful. Oh, everything's so great. But it ain't gonna change the fact, you know what I'm saying, that just like this, let me just say this for instance. Just like somebody that lives in, say for instance, I live in Florida, but I'm living in the nice part of Florida, and I got my Gucci slippers. I'm seeing all the pretty little mommies walking on the beach and the white sand beaches and all that. I'm drinking pina coladas. What the fuck they call it? Pina coladas and margaritas and all that. I'm pissing liquor. I'm having a good time. I'm dancing, drinking coconut water, and I'm doing all that. I'm getting massages. You riding into top down. You got the music playing. You feeling life, but on the other side of that bridge, it's people starving. On the other side of that water, it's people that will kill you. On the other side of that water, it's people that will wrap you up like a mummy. You know what I'm saying? But that's reality. And I don't give a damn what you got going on, or how focused you in your circle, or in your bubble, or in your fishbowl. It's still a real world out there. It's still a real jungle out there. You can live in the zoo, but that don't take it's just like anything. It's just like the person, just like I was talking the other day, just like a person that gets comfortable with a wild animal. It's like, and they want to wear those rose-colored shades, like, oh, this is my friend, and he's like a pet. He's just like a little doggy. It's just like a little kitten. He'll just lick you right in your face. I worked with this animal for years. He would never hurt me. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not gonna be cautious. I'm gonna play all around him in his mouth. I'm gonna talk to him all crazy and forget he an animal. Then as soon as you forget, it's gonna be that day, that minute, and that second that's gonna hit. That animal gonna be eating, and your sneakers gonna be hanging out. His sneaker, he gonna taste your sneakers, your kneecaps. He gonna be using your kneecaps for toothpicks. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a wild animal. He's still dangerous. He still will rip you from shreds. I don't give a damn if he licking you in the first, and you held him in his arms, and he was a pretty little dainty little thing, but then he became a very extremely dangerous beast, because that's the instinct, that's the reality, that's the in-depth part that people don't like to look at, and that's the part that you got to look at when you're dealing with us. You got to be in depth, and you got to be in tune. You got to be a person that see things for what it is. Either you do, or you don't. And it's not gonna change the way we view things, but it's gonna make things. If you're trying to build a relationship with this type of individual, and just like I said, it's the women, not just the men, it's the women too. You know what I'm saying? If you trying to build something with her, and you a type of dude that's always goofy, always, playing around, that's always want to hang out with your boys, that's always playing video games and goofing off, that had no knowledge of yourself, that has no type of intellect, past trap music, past reality TV shows, past getting paper. Get ain't nothing wrong with getting paper, but what else? What knowledge do you have? Do you have a heart? Do you have a soul? Do you have a brain? Do you have a spirit? What else do you have to you? Is that it? Are you just a shallow individual that comes a dime a dozen? Are you in depth? Do you have characteristic traits to yourself that separate you from everybody? Of course you do, but it takes a person that's in depth. It takes a person that been through the deep parts of the water, that bring those characteristic traits out, that highlight those characteristic traits, that understand those characteristic traits. So, like I said, man, I love y'all. Y'all make sure y'all show that love. I appreciate it. I just do a little something for y'all for the day, because I know it gets quiet or whatever. I just wanted to do something for y'all, because I always have something for y'all. I always got something for y'all. But like I tell y'all, I try to take my time and try to be more patient, and not be like, okay, let me get this done. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? I try to be more cordial, and just be like, okay, let me gradually put these out. Let me gradually do this title. Let me gradually talk about this topic, because when you flowing this when it's flowing like water, y'all. It flows like water. So I gotta release it to y'all. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. Make sure you show your love. Make sure you like. Thank you all my new subscribers, all my homeboys that watch. Pounds to you. All my beautiful, ladies that watch, all my beautiful subscribers, everybody. I love y'all. Big kiss. Definitely from bottom of my heart. I appreciate all the love. You know, no matter where you at, whether you know, if you sitting in the hospital, if you sitting in a bad situation, if you sitting in a good situation, you know what I'm saying, understand God body with you. I'm out here with you. I'm not sitting, you know, I'm not sitting getting my fingernails clipped by, you know, I'm not sitting here getting waved by ostrich feathers. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here with you. You know, I got to stand up you know, to take one just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I got to take my stuff off to get in the shower just like everybody else. So I'm out here with you. I understand you. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, support me and understand me at the same time. So I appreciate you. I love it. I got so much love for y'all. Thank you so much for all the love. You know, I appreciate it. My boy Tracy, what's going on? Make sure I say hey to everybody. Hey, Clarabelle. Hey, Clarabelle. Hey, Kimmy. Hey, Golden Dancer. My boy Wayne Jasper. I always tell you, Jasper, my favorite Asley brother. He not even an Asley, but he was in the He an in-law, but he's still the Asley. I said I like Jasper. Jasper, my favorite. That's my favorite. But thank you so much. I appreciate all the love. Thank you. Y'all continue support. I'm out. Y'all be peaceful and y'all be careful. Y'all stay cool. You know what I mean? And thank you so much. You know, I can't never thank you enough. Y'all keep me encouraged. It's a blessing. Just like y'all get something out of watching my joints, I get something out of hearing from y'all, out of getting love, out of getting the embracement from y'all. So y'all, thank you. I thank you as much as you appreciate my stuff. I appreciate you watching. So thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Y'all be peaceful. You know, y'all stay clear of all the BS, and y'all make sure y'all watch it. If you haven't watched the whole thing, make sure you check it out. Make sure you watch all my last joints, and make sure you like the video. I appreciate it. If you just new to watching, make sure you subscribe. Uh, Also, make sure y'all hit that bell. If you do subscribe, you got to hit that bell because if you want to get notifications or whatever, sometimes you still might not get them. So make sure you just check on the, you know, check to see if I put something out new and check it out or whatever because you're not gonna get them all the time. But yet still make sure you hit that bell and you make sure you get the notifications so you can get your notifications so you know whenever something coming out, you know. And I appreciate all the love. Make sure y'all donate. Make sure you comment. I love y'all comments and I appreciate it. So thank you so much. Peace.